And what is going on, everybody? Welcome back into another live stream. And what a crazy day it has been today as a Jacksonville Jaguars fan. I mean, so much activity, so refreshing. I really don't think even the most optimistic Jaguars fans probably did not think the Jaguars are going to be making all the moves that they did. But man, they were going out and they were signing. Let me get my lighting right. A little too bright. I'll just leave it like that. A lot of guys going, man. I counted six different signings today from the very beginning of signing the guard Brandon Scherf to a bunch of money. Why are my notes not included? So Brandon Scherf, it then went over there and signed Foye Alukua. It then signed Franzo Fatukasi. Yikes, I don't know these games. And then Christian Kirk was one, and then Evan Ingram, and then Zay Jones. Really just went extremely crazy today. And shout out to everybody in here. Sea Breacher was the first comment. What's up, Sea Breacher? What is up, Marco? We got Blake Bottles in the building. JR Fly, what's going on, my man? Michael in here. Stormy. Nakia says 17-0. Let's go. I like it. I'm glad I wasn't on Twitter because YouTube didn't even notify that you went live. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Yeah, hit the like button so YouTube will send out the notifications, man. I try to post it on Twitter so everybody knows. And Carlos says this leaves us open to draft Hutchinson. Yeah, potentially. What's up, Volk Fang? What's up, Sono? So today the Jaguars made a bunch of signings, and this morning I posted on Twitter. I said, guys, if the Jaguars go out and sign some big names today, do not get annoyed by how much they're going to be making. Because look, you have to be able to spend money. And one thing I've been saying this whole entire offseason, a lot of people will ask me, oh, do you think free agents will sign here? Do you think free agents will sign here? And my response was money talks, because it does. Look, when you're going to bring in free agents to Jacksonville, they are going to sign if the money is right. And the Jaguars were willing to spend the money today. They spent a bunch of money. I mean, Christian Kirk making a lot of money. The deal for Brandon Scherf hasn't been made public yet, but that deal is going to be outrageous because he's going to be making a lot of money. And there were a lot of guys, and we were throwing out money like crazy, but the Jaguars, in order to be able to flourish, they have to spend money. And that's exactly what they did. And whether or not you like the signings, because a lot of people don't like the different moves that the Jaguars made, one thing I think everybody knows is that the Jaguars are a much better team than they were 24 hours ago, or heck, even 12 hours ago. The Jaguars, we need talent. And look, the Jaguars sign all these guys, and there's still a bunch of holes on this roster. There's still a bunch of things that we need to do. The Jaguars brought in Christian Kirk and Zay Jones, and the wide receiver position is still a big need. We still need to go out there and get more wide receivers. It's most likely going to come in the draft. And one thing we know is that, look, wide receiver ones aren't just walking around the streets. A lot of times you just have to draft those guys. And that's what the Jaguars will hopefully do at pick number 33. I think we're all kind of projecting a wide receiver there, and that's probably where it's going to come. Maybe like a George Pickens will be there. We'll kind of see. But the Jaguars made the offense a lot better. I mean, you are helping out your quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, in a big way. I mean, right guard Brandon Scherf, who's a 5-time Pro Bowler. He was an All-Pro a couple years ago. When he is healthy, he is dominating, absolutely dominating. It's Reese says I didn't get an alert. Yeah, I don't know what it's doing. Definitely drop a like, maybe YouTube. That'll help YouTube send out notifications. That's kind of what happens. It does kind of stink because I put in the time and effort on this channel, and YouTube doesn't want to let people know that I'm live. But whatever. You guys are all here. I got 96 people in here, so I'm definitely blessed for that. But Brandon Scherf makes the offense a whole lot better. I mean, he is automatically the best offensive lineman on the team. You have Christian Kirk and Zay Jones. Look, Christian Kirk, he's actually a pretty good receiver. He kind of got lost in the mix over there with the Cardinals because they had a bunch of receivers over there from playing behind Larry Fitzgerald to DeAndre Hopkins. Then they eventually drafted his replacement with Rondale Moore. And he was a little bit annoyed because he really did not think the Cardinals were using him right. And he's a great route runner, gets really good separation, and the Jaguars are investing heavily in him. They're investing heavily in him. So it's up to the Jaguars to be able to get that return on investment when it comes to Christian Kirk. Zay Jones, 3 years, $24 million. I mean, he's all right. He's kind of a mid-tier signing, kind of a high upside guy, kind of a not necessarily a prove it, but like a high upside deal. They're not really breaking the bank for that. They also brought in Evan Ingram on a 1 year, $9 million deal. That's big. That's a big time prove it deal with the Giants. Giants fans were a little bit disappointing in him because they felt like he shrunk in the biggest moments, dropped a lot of balls, but overall, it's a 1 year prove it deal that's going to strengthen our tight end room. It just feels like today the Jaguars got a lot better on offense, and now we can just kind of take a breath and know that look, Trent Baalke will spend. A lot of people just didn't think that Trent Baalke would spend money. They all just thought he was cheap. They weren't going to do anything, but he actually did use the money, and it felt like they went out here with a plan, and they weren't going to let anybody outbid us. And another cool thing about Christian Kirk is he's only 25 years old. He's got his best football ahead of him. 25 years old. That's extremely young for a free agent like that. That's already played in the NFL for 4 years. He had coming up in last year, 77 catches, 982 yards, 5 touchdowns. So we finally got a guy that can, he's a slot receiver. But he can play outside, although he's best from the slot. And we just got a great route runner. He creates separation and he can catch the ball. We don't necessarily have that right now. So that's kind of the offensive side of the ball. I get excited about the offensive side of the ball because it just feels like that's really where we need to focus. But we also got some studs on the defense. Foye Oluokun, he is from a linebacker from the Atlanta Falcons. He signed a 3-year, $45 million deal. And he, honestly, when I look at his stats and what he's done, he reminds me of a former Jaguar player. He had last 2 seasons, 5 interceptions, 5 forced fumbles, 5 sacks. And in 2021, he actually led the NFL in tackles with 192. He's 27 years old. He's only missed 1 game in his 4-year NFL career, and he has really, really good speed, extremely good speed and coverage ability. He reminds me a lot of Telvin Smith. He really reminds me a lot of Telvin Smith, and now it feels like we finally have somebody solidified, like on the other side of Miles Jack. Because Miles Jack, it's kind of been a revolving door over there next to him, and it feels like that might have been impacting his play a little bit. Because you have Joe Schobert, Damian Wilson, going back to Paul Posluszny, and who was in 2018, who was our other linebacker? Oh no, Miles was the Mike, and Telvin Smith was the Will. And then in 2019, golly, I have no idea who was playing that position in 2019. I'd have to think. Probably somebody not very good. We'll just leave it at that. So, and I see some people talking about Taven Bryan. Do you guys see Taven Bryan signed a 1-year, $5 million deal? What a crazy deal. Thank God, at least at Taven Bryan, it's officially over. It's finally over. He is done in the Jaguars uniform. Who Tipped My Cow became a member of the YouTube channel. Big shout out to you, man. I'll be doing another live stream with you guys a week from tomorrow. We can talk all about free agency and about the upcoming draft. So huge shout out to Who Tipped My Cow. Thank you so much for becoming a member of their channel. You got your Duval emojis, man. Show them proud. JR Fly says, hey, UCF, what do you think about the Jaguars trading our number 1 overall to Philly for their 15, 16, 83, and their second next year so we can load them and get more studs instead of just one main guy? We need help. I mean, I would love that in theory. I just don't know, what's Philly moving up for? Like, what do they want? Are they moving up to get a quarterback? I just don't. I mean, I would love that in theory, but I think if the Jaguars trade back, it's probably to like 3, 4, or 5. I don't see them trading all the way back to 15 because that's kind of a major dip back. Because right now, I mean, make no mistake about it, the Jaguars have their choice of anybody in college football. Anybody in college football. I mean, not in college football, but they have their choice of anybody in this upcoming draft. That's a really, really good position to be in. It's a really good position to be in. So, um, I don't know. Moving back to number 15, that's kind of a deep drop, but we'll see. We'll see. Deshaun says, how do you feel about the DJ Chark situation? I don't feel like we are going to be re-signing DJ Chark, and I'm not too worried about it. I know I've gotten a lot of crap on my channel and especially on Twitter because I've been kind of anti DJ Chark ever since really last August. And honestly, if there's any quote from Urban Meyer that was more than true, it's that he was always saying that DJ Chark is a big guy that plays small. And it's pretty accurate. I mean, even Clay Harbor today posted on Twitter that a former Jaguar player that played with both Allen Robinson and DJ Chark basically said that DJ Chark, let me pull up the exact quote because I don't want to butcher it. Give me 1 second. I've been doing a lot of tweeting today, guys. Wasted a lot of time tweeting. Okay. Let me see if I can share my screen. Yesterday I tried to share my screen and broke my computer. Share screen. So this says former teammate of DJ Chark and Al Robinson. He's a number 3 guy or number 2 guy at best. Doesn't like contact and not great at making the contested catch. He's not even close to being in the league of a guy like A-Rob. And I completely agree with that. Look, I mean, whenever we talk about DJ Chark, people throw me his combine stats from 4 years ago, tell me he ran a 4.3 and all this stuff. But on the field, I mean, he's caught 50-50 balls. Sometimes he gets open in the red zone, but he's a really bad route runner, very bad route runner. He really struggled when it comes to getting separation. And he's been a Jaguar for 4 years, and he's never played a complete season. He's never played a full season. So DJ Chark, I mean, wish him the best somewhere. Some team will sign him. I'm and as much as I know a lot of us, we get scared about letting our own talent go because we get scared about what he's going to do somewhere else. But I've seen enough from him, and I understand the potential and all this stuff. It's just, for 4 years the potential never really met, and yeah, I kind of agree with Timmy. Look, Chark shrinks in every game, garbage time wide receiver, and that's true. I mean, every once in a while we see him make a nice catch in the end zone, run a good route. He's a good. I mean, I'll give him this. He's a good red zone wide receiver. But if you're going to pay someone wide receiver 1 money, a wide receiver 1 needs to be able to do everything. It needs to be able to do everything on the field, whether it be, catching the ball in a slant or catching a deep ball out. He just needs to be a man, be a strong guy. DJ Chark is, he's tall, but he's not very muscular. So I'll leave it at that. Cowboy with a $3 donation. I would get Randy Gregory and a tight end in the second round. Yeah, I mean, I think we're probably more aiming for a wide receiver in the second round. It feels like for tight end, we can always upgrade tight end, but it feels like we are solid, at least for 2022 at the tight end position. We can get away with Dan Arnold and Evan Ingram, but we need another wide receiver bad. We need that number 1 wide receiver. So we need that bad. Reese says, you think Kirk can do everything you're describing? Not necessarily, because Kirk is not a wide receiver 1. Kirk is a wide receiver 2 that can play in the slot. But Kirk does a lot of things that nobody on our team could do last year. That's create separation and catch the ball, run good routes, be a chains mover. That was not anybody on the Jaguars last year. And like I said, Kirk is not a wide receiver 1. He's a wide receiver 2, and that's fine. And a lot of people got a little bit worried about his contract, but his contract on the surface, it's what, a 4-year, $84 million deal. Oh my God, Christian Kirk's making $21 million a year. But when you break it down, it's not like that. Christian Kirk counts for $1.5 million against the cap in 2022. Also, we can basically get out of the contract in 2 years. A lot of signing bonus money, which if there's anything we should praise Shad Khan about, it's that he really helps us out in free agency because he has so much money. He's able to give these guys big signing bonuses up front, so it relieves the cap a lot. And that's one thing about Kirk is it's a lot of money on the surface when you just look at 4-year, $84 million. But is it 7.5 million? Okay, yeah. I saw somewhere it was 1.5 million. Yeah, Carlos says, again, it's not our money. Yeah, I mean, we can't sit here and be like, oh, we need to get better. We need to get this guy, and be like, oh, that guy's not worth the money. If you guys want to go with complain about so and so is not worth the money, then all you're going to be left with is with Taven Austin and Philip Dorsett. That's what it's going to leave you with. Look, and like I said, Jaguar, we have to pay a Jacksonville tax, and we need to be in a situation where instead of looking for what free agents to sign, we need to figure out who from our own team can we afford to sign. Because you look at teams like the Green Bay Packers. They don't go out in free agency and go crazy because they draft so well. They sign players from their own team. The Jaguars need to do that. We need to get to the point where we're not looking to other organizations to get better talent because our drafting is so well, we can sign our own talent. So that's the position that we need to be in. But shout out to everyone in here, man. 294 people. We're having more people moving in. Drop a like for me if you guys can. Definitely appreciate you guys being here. We've had a garbage rush the past 3 or 4 years. People need to stop complaining about money. Yeah, it's look, if we want to get better, we got to spend money. I mean, there's no way around it. We got to spend money, and that's how it is. I mean, that's just how it is. Scared about running back. It's interesting because apparently Trent Baalke was in on the James Conner thing. He almost signed James Conner, but ultimately James Conner stayed with the Cardinals, which has me a little bit worried. Like if you're ready to give a decent sized contract to a running back, does that say anything about the health of our current running back room? I mean, James Robinson and like if the season started today, neither James Robinson or Etienne would be able to play. They're both rehabbing injury. So how is that? I mean, maybe it's a safety, but it's not, that's not a low key signing. I mean, James Conner actually got a pretty decent amount of running back. So a decent amount of money. So, I mean, with running backs, just get someone off the streets and you're good for me. Cause I'm not trying to throw much cap at a running back. No thanks. Would love to get Chandler Jones, but we probably ran out of the big bucks. I mean, I'm thinking what it's looking like right now. The Jaguars completely left the edge position alone. They franchise tagged Cam Robinson. It's looking like we're getting Aiden Hutchinson at number 1. That's what it's looking like, especially if the few days go by. Like once Chandler Jones signs his contract to another team, it's pretty much a lock. It feels like that Hutchinson may go number 1. It feels that way. Jimmy Popcorn says shocking. Still want Metcalf and Thomas. I'd like Metcalf. Thomas is a little bit sketchy to me because I don't know why he just hasn't been playing. I don't know why he just hasn't been playing. Yeah, and Timmy says we are still under the cap. Yeah, look, we have a rookie quarterback in his second year of a contract. We have a bunch of money that we're paying up front. Like I just wouldn't be too worried about, and especially when we look for next year, who do the Jaguars have to sign because the 2019 draft class will be up for extensions. The only player worth re-signing from that draft class is Josh Allen, and Josh Allen has a 5th-year option. So we're fine. You got to spend money. Won't play under the tag. He'll play under the tag. Unless I what's up, Dominic? Unless I missed something. That's one thing about doing these videos right now is different things pop off at different times. Shout out to Sono with a $5 donation. He says, "Do you think we were in the running for Amari Cooper, or did that slip?" We were apparently in the running for Amari Cooper, but I think the thing that held us up was the Jaguars were not willing to take on the whole entire contract, which the Browns were. Man, I mean, I still would have gone back and I would have done that deal. I would have made that trade. I would have taken on his contract because, like, if we're looking at it right now, we have Amari Cooper and Christian Kirk in our wide receiving core. Whew, man, that would have been a home run. But now I still do worry about the wide receiver position because we still need another dude. Hopefully, we nail somebody in the draft and we can really eat. And hey, maybe I mean Agnew was pretty damn good last year. Hopefully, Agnew comes back okay. I think like Marvin Jones is still a good receiver. I just think we asked way too much from him, and we'll see if Laviska Shenault can do something. We'll just say that. Let's see if he can do something because last year he didn't do a whole lot. Jesus is King with a $2 donation. Don't we still need a left guard? I mean, I guess, but I imagine Ben Barch might move over to left guard, and we could even be in a situation where, like, what if Brandon Linder or Tyler Shatley split between center and left guard, or even Ben Barch? I mean, look, you can't spend money at every position. I think we're fine. Like Ben Barch is an okay guard. He'll move over to left guard most likely now, or maybe they let Shatley and Linder. We figure it out between them two. But and Walker Little will probably play right tackle. I'm feeling better about our offensive line. I'm feeling better about the O-line. I like the move, Jaguar Christian Kirk. Oh, yeah. I like it too, man. I was pumped about it. Jags might add Marlon Mack for a 6th-round pick. Is he up for trade or is he up for? I mean, I like Marlon Mack. I wouldn't trade for him, but I'd love to. I'd love to potentially, bring him on. Oh yeah, Junior says, "Hey UCF, AJ Kansas signed with the Texans. Good for us. Barch can start for him." Yeah. So, okay. Seabreach has said, "Let's get a Kirk member emoji." Yeah, I'll freshen them up. I'll try to bring some new heat. The more members I get, the more emojis I'm able to get. Just an FYI. So I'd love to one day be able to have like 30 emojis to choose from. That'd be sick. But a couple of Jaguars that have signed other places. AJ Can signed a 2-year deal with the Texans, so he's going the Chris Conley route and joining the dark side. Also, our guy Taven Bryan signed a 1-year, $5 million deal with the Browns. That's crazy. It's crazy a man like Taven Bryan is a multimillionaire. It's crazy to think that, right? Tie-Dye says, any news from that corner from the Rams? No, but apparently the Jaguars are still in on it. The Jaguars seem to be in on everybody. It is just crazy. I posted on Twitter. I was like, should I do a live stream or recap? And there's people, go live, but they don't realize I'm live already. So, yeah, YouTube definitely not sending out those notifications. But shout out to everybody in here, man. 352 people in here. Really, really appreciate that. Seabridge says, don't get rid of the Meyer emoji. I love that emoji, man. I went from like the tough looking Urban Meyer in a Jaguar suit to blacked out Urban Meyer with the big glossy eyeballs. I think it's pretty awesome. Cameron, what's up, man? I still hope we get Neal. I'm just not feeling another 1st-round defensive lineman, especially when Hutch got bullied by Georgia. Yeah, I could see it. I mean, like I said, I mean, I would love Neal. I really would. It's just the way this free agency is going. We have a huge hole at edge, and I don't know if we're in on anybody right now. I mean, unless we go out and we sign him, unless we sign Chandler Jones to a big deal, it's looking more and more like Hutch at number 1. Llama Guy says, I like the moves, but now we have 2 wide receivers, 2 wide receiver 2s, and a wide receiver 3. Where's our number 1 guy? What are the chances we trade back into the 1st to get Olave? Well, I mean, it's looking like there's going to be, and I'm going to start looking more into wide receivers now, like after everything wraps up with free agency. But yeah, I mean, the it's hard to find number one wide receivers. I mean, you saw a bunch of them were just getting swallowed up. All the ones that might have been free. I mean, we had to draft our wide receiver one, man, and the Jaguars had to get creative. It's easy to find. It was easy to find Trevor Lawrence because we had the number one overall pick, and he was right there. We're gonna have to get creative when it comes to finding a wide receiver, and it's going to take some advanced scouting. And the worrisome thing is that apparently Doug Peterson was in on the whole let's draft Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson. So maybe we need to leave it to Trent Baalke to figure out the wide receiver. But yeah, that's going to. I mean, pick number 33 might even be bigger than pick number 1 because pick number 1, it feels like you're only really comparing 2, 3, 4 guys. When it comes to number 33 overall, there's a whole lot more. There's a lot more research you have to do. That's for sure. But luckily, once the day is there, once day 1 of the NFL draft is over at 11 p.m. on Thursday night, we will be on the clock and we have a whole entire day to think about what we're going to do. Whether we trade up, I don't know. I don't know what the move is, but thank you, Llama Guy, for the donation. And thank you everybody for the donation so far. I really appreciate that. George Pickens, yeah, that's who I'm kind of wanting. I don't know if Olave is going to be there. Even Dotson's pretty good from Penn State. So I'm going to look more into these guys and figure out. But yeah, the Pickens definitely has a feel of that, like that number 1. So KC just signed Justin Reed. Let's see. Let me pull up Amari or Ari, his name is. The Chiefs signed former Justin Reed to a 3-year, $31 million deal. Teddy Bridgewater signed with the Dolphins. King Luca with a $5 donation. Our cap should still be high, around 20 to 30 million. Just because the contracts today were weird and they looked off, it won't affect us till 2023. Yeah, and that's the thing, man. Just I don't mind spending up to the cap because we don't have a lot coming up next year when it comes to really players to sign, and we have a rookie quarterback. Like, be aggressive, don't penny pinch. Last year didn't get us very far. And look, and the thing about free agency is this. Look, like you are either, and yeah, thank you, Luca, for the donation. You are either, when it comes to the draft, that is where you either like build your team to a Super Bowl winner, or you build your team and destroy your team into like miserable mediocrity into the ground. Like the draft is where you build a Super Bowl winner or you create your dumpster fire. There's a lot more room for error and room for success in the draft. Free agency, it's not as much like that. Free agency, because if you sign great free agents, it's not going to propel you to a Super Bowl. But also, if you sign a bunch of bad free agents, it's not necessarily going to sink you to the ground. So keep that in mind with this draft. That's kind of my opinion on it. Of course, because the thing is, if you get into a bad contract, a lot of times you can get out of it pretty easy. I mean, we signed Nick Foles to the biggest deal in franchise history. It was a terrible deal, and we got out of it after like a year. So, yeah, there's cap maneuvering to go around, and I'm liking it so far. Let's see. Team BYG says you love Kirk deals 700 yards at 20 or 20 at 25, but don't like Zay Jones 600 yards 26. I understand that. Kirk had 900 yards last year. Let me see how many yards Kirk had. Yeah, Kirk had 77 catches, 982 yards, and 5 touchdowns last year. And I think Zay Jones last year had 546 yards for a career high. I mean, I never said I hated Zay Jones. I think the thing that was disappointing about it was it felt like it got us out of the A-Rob running. It feels like. Let's see more. So Tyrann Mathieu is now expected to leave Kansas City after 3 seasons. He's still just 29 years old. Mathieu was a heart and soul of that defense. Geez, Tyrann Mathieu's only 29. That's like the oldest 29-year-old. It feels like he's just been in the NFL forever, hasn't it? Yeah, Tyrann Mathieu. It felt like forever. It felt like forever ago since he was an Arizona Cardinal. That's just me. Chiefs and Saints are interested in Jarvis Landry. All right. Heard it here from Jarvis Juice. Zay Jones is a good talent. And by the way, guys, if you go on my Twitter account here, let me pull it up. There's some pretty cool clips of let's see. Whoops. Let's see. I'm gonna pull up a pretty cool clip of Zay Jones. It just kind of shows kind of who he is. So Chrome tab. I don't know which one I am on. Let's see. Hold on. Rated report. Okay. Sorry, guys. Share screen. Here we go. Oh shit. I think I didn't okay. Here, listen to this. Listen to this clip. This is Zay Jones.
Why you say that? Thank you, Coach. Appreciate you, man. Ride or die. Ride or die. Stay ready. Stay ready. Stay ready. Great mindset. Doing a great job. You too. Jay! Football. Yeah, we did it. We did it, baby. We're going. We're going.
Zay Jones, it wasn't here to take me through the touchdown pass to Zay Jones. It wasn't here to Waller. It wasn't to Ruggs. It wasn't to Edwards. It was to Zay Jones.
That's right. Beautiful thing about that is there was an audible that Coach told me, hey, during the week, if we ever get this look, get ready for this play. And Zay Jones was in. Zay Jones, since he got to our team, every time I ask him on the throw, he's there at 6 a.m. Every time. He's never missed one. So to see him come up with a game winner like that, last 2 times we've been Monday night, he has 2 touchdowns. I hope everyone in the world roots for Zay Jones because he works harder than anybody on our team.
It's week. Take me through the touchdown pass.
So that's some positive speak about Zay Jones for you. You know, I did a little research. I found that sometimes stats don't tell everything, but I'm going to continue to be optimistic. You know, the Jaguars, they went out there, they signed a bunch of guys. You can't sit here. I mean, they can't sign they can't sign the number one at every position. So it's cool to see. And yeah, he's a really cool guy too. That's good to hear. Yeah, I figured it's good to share that with you guys because I did my research. Now I'll share it with you guys, especially for those that aren't on Twitter, because I just sit there on Twitter and tweet all day. It's Reese says, leave A-Rob where he's at. He's bounced on us, so I don't want him back at all. Yeah, I wonder if the Christian Kirk thing made the wide receiver made the wide receiver market just like pause because is Christian Kirk, I mean, he got that big deal, then like none of the premier wide receivers were signed like to this moment. None of them off the board. So I wonder what that has to do with anything, but yeah. So Evan Ingram is a scrub. Well, we signed him to a 1-year, $9 million deal, so it's a prove it deal. We'll see. Love to see it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. We don't even need A-Rob right now. It costs too much. Like I wouldn't mind getting some A-Rob. You know, if we want to bring in A-Rob, I'd say we bring in A-Rob and then we sign Allen Hurns for nostalgia, and then we even sign Marquise Lee and immediately put him on the IR. That would be the ultimate form of nostalgia for me, and I mean, I would just love it. Well, I think the wide receiver market is more expensive because of how much the running back has crashed and made up wide receivers all over. But also, man, like a lot of a lot of teams need wide receivers, man. I mean, wide receiver, the value of wide receiver is going to shoot through the roof because everybody wants a wide receiver to help out their quarterback. I mean, a lot of times quarterbacks can control the offensive line when it comes to really calling protections and stuff like that. But it's harder for a quarterback to make a wide receiver get separation. I mean, there's certain things that he can do, maybe, look players off, whatever, use his eyes a little bit, but there's not really a whole lot. So that's why wide receivers are so important. Cold-blooded UCF. Yeah, I mean, why not? Why not? I mean, could you imagine that picture? A-Rob, Allen Hurns, and Marquise Lee. But Marquise Lee on the IR. I think it'd be cool. Can we afford an Al Robinson or Chandler Jones? I believe we can. I am looking forward to the draft. Seems like we will go defense heavy with a few offensive guys. We'll see. I mean, the Jaguars are still apparently kind of in on, might be in on the Marcus something, the guy from the cornerback from the Rams that plays with Jalen Ramsey. So we'll see. And thank God the Jags are making moves today because I know like Colts fans are pissed today because Colts aren't signing anybody. Yeah, there we go. Williams. Is it Marcus Williams? I just feel like there's so many players in the NFL named Marcus Williams. I thought I might have been getting that one wrong. Zachary says we still have $26 million left in cap after signing all those guys. Yeah, so the interesting thing to me is, what is Brandon Scherf's contract looking like? It's weird how that information has not leaked, but I'm scared for it to leak because I know once it leaks, everyone's going to be like, oh, he's not worth all that money. Oh my gosh. Like it's their own money. It's like Shad Khan is forcing the fan base to take out loans, like payday loans to get these players. It's like, it's not your money. Stop worrying about how much money these guys are making. Okay, Marcus Williams is with the Saints. Okay, I don't know which one. Darius, maybe is Darius Williams? Okay. Yeah, that's the interesting thing. I'd love to see if we bring in La'el Collins. Like, if we bring in La'el Collins, then, man, this offensive line is mwah. Because you can put La'el Collins at right tackle, keep Walker Little at left tackle. Brandon Scherf plays right guard, Brandon Linder center. You figure out the left guard position, and then you can rescind the tag on Cam Robinson. By the way, Cam Robinson has to be the most pissed off person in Jacksonville today. He's seeing the Jaguars just hand out contracts to all these different guys, and Cam Robinson has laid his blood, sweat, and tears for these Jaguars for 5 years straight, and they won't even give him a deal. I mean, that's tough to see. But I would love it if we found a way to. Okay, so Demetrius Harvey says Jaguars still have $26 million left in cap space. Okay, I think someone said that earlier. So that's pretty big. It's pretty big. So, sorry, I'm just looking on Twitter, see what's going on. So a lot of good things going on with the Jaguars this year. Not to mention, we got our first Hall of Famer going into the Hall of Fame this year with Tony Baselli. Lots of exciting things, man. JR says, out of the $26 million, you have to leave $10 million for the rookie class. That's true. But I imagine there's going to be some random players got to get cut, save, $500,000 here, $1 million there. It always seems to happen. And we'll see. I mean, if the Jaguars trade for La'el Collins, maybe we take back the tag from Cam Robinson that frees up $16 million, and then that'll add $42 million minus whatever La'el Collins is making, because La'el Collins is it's a pretty affordable contract. Zach is whack with a $5 donation. Shout out to Zach. He's a big Men in Teal podcaster. Yeah, those good guys. Money talks. 26 million is how many more players? I don't know. I'm not, even though I'm an accountant, I'm not a cap expert guy. I just know that look, there's all kinds of ways around cap. Everyone knows that the cap is fake. Cap space is fake. But if you guys aren't already, man, definitely follow me on Twitter and Instagram at UCF_Jaguar. Also, tomorrow night, I'll do a show. We'll be on Relevant doing a show with Tom McManus. So join the Duval vibes or join the Jaguars Fanatics vibe. And we'll be doing a Duval Vibes podcast tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. And then maybe I'll go live on here tomorrow. I'm trying to get it where I'm trying to schedule different YouTubers of these different teams. Like I want to do a longer live stream and bring on like an Arizona Cardinals guy for like 10, 15 minutes, talk to him about Christian Kirk, bring on a Washington guy, talk to him about the Brandon Scherf, and just bring different guys on to kind of talk about the free agents. I think that would be not only cool for you guys, but also helpful for me because, of course, nobody knows these players more than people that watch every single game. So, yeah, I think that'd be cool. So I'm trying to get something like that worked out. It's just, of course, it's hard to work it out with all these people. Nobody important with a $2 nation. I'm still all in on Neal at number 1. Cheap contracts. That'd be dope. I mean, I'm definitely in on. I mean, I'm down for Neal or Hutchinson. I'm not picky. One thing I did like about Hutchinson was that at the combine, a bunch of players were like because the NFL, they were posting highlights of Hutchinson's combine, and there were random defensive linemen, defensive ends all around the NFL being like, this guy has awesome technique. This guy is going to be a force in the NFL. This guy is going to be a beast. This isn't his friends. This isn't former coaches. This isn't anything like that. It's random peers of his that ultimately Hutchinson will be competing against to be the greatest against. You know, these different guys saying, look, this guy's the real deal. That makes me feel better about Hutchinson. So that actually made me feel a lot better after seeing that. Junior says, hey guys, we can still get La'el Collins, maybe Chandler Jones, maybe Darius Williams, or even Damian Williams running back from the Chiefs. He is getting cut. Yeah, let's just bring everybody. Let's just bring in everybody, man. It seems like we have all the ability. I just hate our luck with D linemen. I mean, they worked out before. I mean, Josh Allen was a good pick. What's it called? Unique Ngakoue when we signed Calais Campbell. I wouldn't say D lineman is a cursed position. I mean, it feels like, if anything, wide receiver is a cursed position because we'll get like a good year out of a wide receiver and then they're never to be seen again. Sleep says, can you unblock me on Twitter? Yeah, let me know your handle. By the way, guys, I block like crazy on Twitter, man. I do. Because like there'll be people, they say personal things to me, like, you know, just unnecessary stuff. And look, I mean, I don't need that. I get a lot of notifications on Twitter. I have a lot of people tweeting at me. I don't want to oversee like somebody's tweet, like, you know, real followers tweet with somebody's tweet that doesn't really matter. So, you know, a lot of times I just try to block the negativity. So tell me your @ handle and I'll see what I can do. Kevin says, don't unblock trolls. Yes. Yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, he blocked me. He's weak. He can't handle it. It's like, no, I just don't feel like reading it. I don't feel like reading the negativity. I don't need it. My handle is very smart casual. We argued over Florida not getting the first choice for a football coach. All right, I'll look you up and I will unblock you. But I'll be honest, you probably said some dumb shit to me, and I was like, I don't need this in my life. So here's some free agents still available. Left tackle Teron Armstead, Chandler Jones, Allen Robinson, Bobby Wagner, Von Miller, Tyrann Mathieu, OBJ, Stephon Gilmore, DJ Chark, Cordell Patterson, Eric Fisher, James Daniels, Randy Gregory, Darius Williams, Bradley Bozeman, and Marcus Mariota. So It's a bunch of guys. I mean, there's a bunch of guys that are still out there and available. So, it's definitely not over yet. But I'm gonna run this for 3 more minutes and I'm gonna end it since it's 11 o'clock. I pumped out videos like crazy today, guys. 6 videos this live stream. It's funny because I was about to do it and I was like, dude, I gotta change. I'm wearing like the same shirt and hat in like 6 different videos. I gotta be like, okay, I gotta switch it up a little bit so people don't think I'm like doing weird shit. But basically, so tomorrow, give you guys an update. Tomorrow I'm gonna keep posting. I mean, I'm gonna keep posting videos whenever we sign guys, and then I'll probably do another live stream tomorrow night. Wednesday, unfortunately, is my first day actually back in the office since like July. So I'm going back into the office. So if the Jaguars make moves, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it right on the spot. If it's during lunchtime or before lunch, maybe I can hop in my car and we can roll with the car videos. I don't want the car videos to be back because I've loved working from home, and I loved that when Jaguars news can break, I can bring you guys the nice setup and the nice quality and all that. But this isn't my full-time thing, unfortunately, so I got to do it. Nick Ludwig's with a $5 donation says, draft Hutchinson, move up from 33 to draft Jameson Williams or Treylon Burks. Yeah, I mean, the Jaguars like to do it. Number 33 is, once the 20s roll in there, then you have to start peaking. You have to start seeing, okay, we have 3 wide receivers really like here. And as they start to get plucked, you might be in a situation where it's like, okay, it's number 28, our last receiver that we like, that we have a first-round grade on, that we were really high on, is at number 28. Then you have to look to move up. Hopefully some good ones fall to us there, but luckily it's a pretty good wide receiver draft this year. So we'll see. Big Main Wanning says, what's up, bro? Offensive line looks good so far. That's true, man. I've liked it. And also, by the way, thanks, Nick, for the $5 donation. JR says, hey, UCF, you practically were on fire today, just like all the free agent moves. I know, man. I was trying to do it. I was trying to go all Jet Central on you guys. Jet Central does really good with his updates. Of course, I just keep it with Jaguar stuff. He goes all around the NFL, but Chargers have a nice free agency too. Yeah, they've been good. They've gotten they've got some good names, definitely. Hutchinson's leadership is easy to see on tape. That's important. Yeah, and he has a lot of effort and hustle on tape too. So, all right, guys. Thank you everybody so much for coming in here. 372 people. Really appreciate it. If you guys could, before you leave, drop a like. Also, guys, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at UCF_Jaguar. I'm going to keep posting on there, and we'll be keeping you guys updated. So thanks, guys, so much for supporting me and supporting my channel. You guys are the absolute best, and I'll see you guys next time the Jaguars make some moves. So with all that said, go Jags.